Joining us is Don Siegelman. Don, thanks for speaking with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
We've watched as protests have happened across the country and around the world, and I'm sure you have too. What is your take on the overall situation?
Well, first of all, I think people are just are fed up with the injustice that they have seen, and this is not a partisan issue. It crosses both sides of the aisle and across the globe. Um, and we've got to change people's hearts and minds, but that is going to take time. They've either got to be convinced uh, that God created us all equally, or they've got to understand that the United States Constitution requires that everyone be treated equally. Mr. Floyd paid the ultimate price. It is now up to us to change policies, politics, and laws to protect the most vulnerable from the abuses of power from police or prosecutors or presidents.
You've talked before about policies and reforms. What do you think needs to be done legislation-wise?
Well, I think that Congress is going to focus on the policing part of this, which I think is good and healthy, and is going to change the mindset of police from being warriors to being guardians of the community, and that's going to be a healthy thing. But in my book, I speak about systemic changes that have to be made to our criminal justice system. For instance, to ensure that the Floyd family has a representative, a lawyer in the grand jury to ensure that the truth is told by the prosecutors to the grand jurors so that the proper charges are actually brought. And that's been the trouble with these cases that we've seen from New York, from Eric Gardner to Breonna Taylor to uh, uh, the young kid that was killed, Trevor Rice. That they're they have not had a representative in the grand jury so that the police officers are able to be what they call no bill.
You've talked before about police and inmate interactions. What do you want people to know?
Well, I wanted to just to recap, that we've got to change people's hearts and minds, and to do that is going to take time. People have got to be convinced that God created us all equally, or on the other side, that our Constitution requires that everyone be created equally. And it is now up to us as citizens to ensure that policies are changed, politics change, and that we enact laws to ensure that the victims of abuse of power uh, have justice.
All right, Don Siegelman, thank you so much for talking with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.